What if I told you that the person sabotaging your future is you? Not the world, not your circumstances, not even your past. Just the outdated version of yourself you keep dragging around like dead weight. The old you, full of excuses, bad habits, outdated fears, and recycled pain, is fighting to survive. And unless you kill it, it will drag your potential down with it. Think about it. How many times have you felt like you're stuck in a loop, promising change, starting fresh, only to end up back where you began? Procrastinating, doubting yourself, numbing out, quitting early. It's not bad luck. It's not that you're broken. It's that the old version of you is still running the show, and it's terrified of letting go, because letting go means death. Not your death, but its death. I know this battle well. I've been there, watching the days go by while the gap between who I was and who I could be grew wider and darker. And I realized something. Transformation isn't about adding more. It's about subtracting what no longer serves. You don't need more motivation. You need a funeral, a deliberate goodbye to who you've been, so you can finally step into who you're meant to become. This video is not about tweaking routines or setting better goals. It's about doing something far more radical, putting an end to the version of you that's been quietly killing your dreams. The reason the old version of you still has control isn't because it's stronger. It's because it's familiar. That version knows how to keep you safe. It whispers comforting lies. Let's start tomorrow. Maybe now's not the right time. What if you fail again? It survives by convincing you that change is risky and comfort is king. But that comfort? It's a cage. And the door has always been open. Much of this comes from how we're trained to think. From school systems that reward obedience over originality, to families that teach us survival, not self-worth. We're told to fit in, not to stand out. To be good, not to be great. So we carry inherited fears, outdated rules, and learned helplessness into adulthood. And we wonder why nothing feels right. But here's the truth. You don't owe the old you loyalty. You don't have to keep playing a role just because you've played it for years. You can rewrite the script. You can say, that version of me got me here, but it can't take me further. Because freedom begins with a decision. Not a perfect plan, not the right mood. Just one raw, honest decision to stop settling. Take, for example, someone who used to be trapped in self-doubt and mediocrity until they simply started acting like the version of themselves they wanted to become. They didn't wait to feel ready. They moved like the new self was already real. That's not magic. That's courage in motion. And by the way, if you're still reading, still listening, it's because some part of you is done playing small. So hey, don't subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the new you. And if we happen to grow together along the way, I'll be here. Tell me in the comments, what's one word that represents your next chapter? Mine is rebirth. Now, it's time to break free and take control with decisive action. Transformation isn't a sudden miracle, but a series of small, intentional steps that add up over time. It starts with the simple decision to act. No more waiting for the perfect moment or for motivation to magically appear. Instead, create it yourself. Set one specific goal for today and commit to doing one thing that the old you would have avoided. Begin by identifying one habit or routine that no longer serves you. Whether it's procrastinating on important tasks or clinging to negative self-talk, replace it with an action, however small, that moves you closer to the person you want to become. For instance, if you've always deferred that difficult conversation or a challenging project, take a tiny step today. Write down the first bullet point, or make a list of why change is vital. It's about momentum. Each small action builds confidence, and that confidence makes it easier to act again. Soon the chain reaction of consistency will transform not only your habits, but your overall mindset. Visualize yourself in the midst of change. Imagine the satisfaction of letting go of your limiting past and embracing a future molded by your own hands. See the new you in every decision you make, each one steering you away from stagnation and closer to growth. This isn't merely about self-improvement. It's about a complete metamorphosis that begins when you decide to actively engage in your transformation rather than waiting for it to happen. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about removing everything you're not Everything the world told you to be, everything fear built around you, everything that once served a purpose but now only holds you back. What's at stake isn't just a better version of your life. It's your freedom, your peace, your ability to wake up every day knowing you're living on purpose. Because when you finally let the old you die, the one who lived for approval, played it safe, avoided the mirror, and doubted every spark of brilliance within, you make room for something extraordinary. Not perfection, not endless success, but something far more powerful. Alignment, clarity, self-respect, a life that feels like yours again. So here's the truth. Nothing changes unless you do. You can keep waiting for life to hand you a better version of yourself, or you can rise up and build it. Today is not just another day. It's an invitation to choose, and not choose comfort or safety or what's familiar, but to choose yourself in the most radical and irreversible way possible. Drop a comment if this message stirred something in you. What's the one thing you're leaving behind? And who are you becoming instead? Remember, the old you doesn't need to be fixed. It needs to be buried. You don't evolve by learning more. You evolve by daring to let go of who you no longer are.